Hi guys, Spartan765 here. Today I'm doing another video on my prepper series, and that is 5 my personal picks on a 5 shit hits the fan guns for a shit hits the fan scenario. Guns I think would be optimal. Not necessarily going in any particular order, kind of, but not really. Alright, we're going to start off with the 1911. Now, this is a Springfield Armory 1911 A1. The reason I put the 1911 in this video is because this thing is built like a tank. Parts are easy to source, ammo is easy to source, and the reliability of this gun is phenomenal. The only thing that holds it back, really, in my opinion, is the ammo weight itself. The amount of, if you're bugging out, obviously you're bugging and it's not a problem, but if you're bugging out, carrying enough ammo, 300 rounds of 45 is going to weigh easily twice as much as 300 rounds of 9mm. But still, the 45 is a great round, and that's why I think the 1911 is a good first pick. Alright, moving on to a slightly better option, which I think, that's going to be the Sig 226. This is a 9mm. 9mm is great. It's got the velocity with modern hollow points. It's got the stopping power of a 45 ball round. You have an aluminum frame, steel slide, double single action. This particular model has a short reset trigger, which makes it phenomenal for shooting. Very accurate, as is the 1911. This is a Mark 25, which has the tritium front and rear sights, which is also nice. Again, just another top pick of mine for a shit hits the fan handgun. Next, I'm trying to make this video as short as possible here. Next, we have a CZ75. Now, whether you have a CZ75 stainless, regular, this particular weapon happens to be a CZ75B, which means it does not have a decocker, just a manual safety like a 1911. Although I am a big fan of the decocker. Although to place this, to decock this, you can just pull the trigger and manually drop it on the safety sear. That's fine. I don't really think there's a safety issue with that as long as you know what you're doing. These are phenomenally accurate guns, well battle tested, well proven, just like the 226 and the 1911. The sights on this are just black rear sights, black front sight, very ergonomic, very high barrel access, which is nice, as the 226, as you can see, doesn't have a very high barrel access on the grip compared to the grip. The CZ75 shoots well, shoots smooth, and shoots true. Parts for these, they're going to be a little harder to come by than the parts for the 1911, and the parts for the 226 are even going to be harder to come by than these, or easier to come by than this. There's more SIGs out there. A lot of parts are compatible between the different models. There's not as many CZs out there, CZ75s especially, but still I think it's a great weapon. Full stainless steel slide, and it weighs just about as much as the Sig, maybe a hair more. Alright, the next gun on my list, and this is going to be kind of a general category, but this particular weapon here is a Glock 22. Now, this is my duty gun for work, and I love it. I'm a big fan of Glocks, always have been. They're reliable, durable, easy to maintain, and they're cost effective. Fewest amount of moving parts in a semi-auto handgun there is. I have this one outfitted with Trigicon front and rear sights. I did a trigger job on it. I got the pull down. The thing about Glocks that sucks is being a double action striker fired. You're going to have that long pull, but I smoothed that out, got it down to about 4.5 pound pull. It's a really nice shooting Glock. This is, like I said, a 22, so it's a 40, but a 17 obviously would be great. 40 is going to be pretty easy to find too. Higher pressure round, weighs more. For a shit hits the fan scenario, I would always recommend, as far as the larger calibers go, a 9mm, because you can carry more of it than you can a 40 or a 45, and the recoil and time on target is going to be significantly reduced. A 40, as anybody who knows much about guns knows, a 40 recoils harder than a 45 in most cases. The nice thing about this, as with the Sig, is it has a attachment rail here where you can attach, you know, a light or whatever. That 1911 I showed didn't, but that's a 1911A1. I like to keep my 1911s basic, but you can get models with rails. Overall, though, Glock, I would have to say one gun, one handgun, in my opinion, that I would choose if I had to make a decision, it would be a Glock, just because they're devastatingly simple and they don't break easily. Neither do any of the previous two that I showed, but these just have a reputation for being beasts as far as their durability goes. Alright, now the next gun in the video, which is the fifth gun, might surprise some people. We've been talking about higher caliber guns, well, not high caliber guns, but you know, 9mm, 40, 45, your three common calibers. And right off the bat, I'm going to say choosing something like 357 Sig or, you know, something like that, some weird, not weird, but less common caliber just isn't wise, because in the end, when you do run out of ammunition, you're going to need to be able to source more ammunition. You want to choose a common caliber that might be around. But the next gun on the list is this, which is Ruger Mark III. It's a 22. I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, 22 for self-defense, but my thought is, hey, it works. You can take down game with this. It can be done. But the biggest thing with the 22 is you can carry thousands of rounds of ammunition. You can carry 5, 6, almost 10 times as much ammunition as you can with the 40, 45, or 9, almost for the same weight. These guns are phenomenally reliable when fed with the right ammunition. These do, like, I mean, if you get CCI mini mags, they'll cycle every time. Your Remington Gold Dots, kind of a hit and miss. It just depends on your ammo, but I mean the CCI mini mags or any higher pressure 22 rounds will cycle this thing flawlessly. They're phenomenally accurate. The time on target is great, and they have a 10 round magazine. As the CZ is a 16 round, the 226 is a 15 round, and the 1911 is a 7 or 8 round mag, depending on the mag. But these can be highly customized. You can swap out the upper, get a different upper, bull barrel upper, but I like just the standard. I mean, I can shoot very well with just the standard sights, and they pull really nice. It's a really nice pulling gun, very reliable, assuming the right ammunition is used. These are a minimal maintenance, straight blowback weapon. I mean, you keep the thing oiled, that's about all you need to do. Obviously, of course, clean the barrel. Obviously, there's a lot more you need to do to keep the gun perfectly running fine. But I mean, in a shit it's the fan situation, are you really going to be cleaning your gun every time you shoot it? No. The parts for these, yes, there could be parts out there. You know, they're going to be harder to find than 1911 parts or Glock parts per se, but overall, I think it's a great weapon. I mean, it has a manual safety on the side, which is great, so you can keep it chambered. And yes, I mean, with hollow points, mini mags, this could be a viable self-defense option, as well as taking down medium to small game. No problem. Great for hunting. You couple this with a 10-22 or something like that, which is another gun I'm going to do a video on later. Not trying to get off the topic of my 5 guns here, but yeah. The one downside of the Ruger Mark III I don't like is the extra little key safety here. If you can get a Ruger Mark II or a Ruger Mark I, I'd highly advise grabbing one of those if you could find one. They're pretty much the same, except the Ruger Mark III came out with this stupid chamber load indicator on the side here, which, you know, in my opinion, can possibly create some reliability issues at some point, easily removed, but I'd rather leave it in just because it blocks dirt and dust from getting in here. Easy enough to snip the tab that comes on, but, you know, I'm sure there's companies out there that make block or billet fill-ins for that. You know, trigger's nice on it, nice trigger squeeze, shoots real well. But yeah, but if I had to say, like I said before, one true pick would always be the devastatingly simple, rugged Glock. And these are great for people who are new to shooting too. They have no manual safety. They have a trigger safety and a drop safety in here, as do all of the guns I shown, except for the Ruger 10-22 obviously doesn't have a drop safety. But the CZ75B, the 226, and actually no, this 1911 A1 does not have a drop safety. It's an A1. But yeah, if it came down to it, the Glock, either in 40 or 9mm, would be my choice, personally. I happen to have a level 3 retention duty holster for this weapon, so this actually would probably be my, because I have the holster for it, level 3 retention, a duty holster that doesn't sit up high, it sits kind of low on the belt, so that'd be great. I also have Serpa holsters for all these other ones, the CQC holsters. Obviously, I don't have one for the 1022 yet because I'll make a CQC for that, I don't think, but the other 4 I do. Anyway, but that's just my opinions. Somebody might have some other opinions that might be great to hear. Any thoughts, comments, questions, feel free to send me a message. Spartan765 out.